Nevertheless, Brian, before we talk about any further history-making wrestling from the past, let's talk about what's made history in the annals of the Wrestling Observer, because I know that we talked about the fellatio-like star ratings that Dave gave to the AEW pay-per-view and their various shenanigans. And now his star ratings have come out for the Survivor Series. And remember, actually, the AEW cage matches weren't even on pay-per-view. They were just on television, and he just raved over those things. So now we see what happens when the other company presents the same thing. How will he feel? How consistent will he be? Do you have this information in front of you?
I do have this, the latest Wrestling Observer. He wrote a whole big thing about the WarGames and why he didn't think it was effective, but I don't have time to go through it all right now. But we have the star ratings, and why don't we do what we did last time, Jim? You guess what you think, based on your expertise and what we've talked about over the last several years, what you think Dave's star rating will be for this event.
I will do that. I will remember also, because I think remember now the AEW girls fiasco with the broken glass and the thumbtacks and the barbed wire and the various near fatal incidents from people not knowing how to work and all that stuff. Didn't he give that 4 stars? Yeah, I think he did, didn't he?
At least, I think. Yeah.
And also then the men's blood and guts that they did, where they added numerous, tables and ins and outs and dives, and also set people on fire. Who was it they set? Darby. He's usually the one who gets set on fire. Isn't it an indictment that I have to ask who was it they set on fire 3 weeks ago? I think he gave that 4.5 or 5.
Actually, so I have him here. The men's match was 5 stars. The women's match was 4.5.
There you go. So now,
also 4.5 star Adam Page, Powerhouse Hobbs, Falls Count Anywhere.
Well, okay. Well, there you go. And that could be the counterpoint to John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title, the hottest young star in the game versus the biggest retiring star in the game versus Adam Page and Tits McGee, whatever his fucking name was. So I would think that Uncle Dave ain't going to like the WWE stuff because they didn't have as many near fatal incidents and didn't do as many moves. And he says he doesn't like all the gimmicks and the blood, but he still rates all the matches with the gimmicks and the blood as 5 stars. So he must hold his nose on those. But at the same point, the WWE matches had nobody almost killed that I can recall, and no unnecessary, reckless, dangerous shit, no unprofessional botches, and pretty much goddamn professional performances throughout where nobody was gutted with a rusty fishing knife. But having said that, they still had their flaws, which we picked apart in the individual reviews we did on the men's and the women's war games. And we were so sick of the whole goddamn thing to begin with. So I'm saying right now, I'm going to predict that for bias of Dave wants people to do a bunch of fucking moves because his whatever order or disorder he's got going on, his attention is held by these things. And since the WWE didn't do as many moves, he's going to knock 2 stars off the total of each one of those goddamn matches. So whatever those AEW matches, their counterpoint on the WWE show is going to be 2 stars lower. That's my prediction. Let's start this game.
Let's start this up with the matches. I apologize for the noise. These people won't go away.
Well, I told you a BB gun.
It almost stopped. Now it's a smaller noise, but Jim, the women's War Games match.
Are you sure that's not just the neighbor's wife's Sibian? Can they close their windows?
Jim, AJ Lee and Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeated Asuka, Kairi Sane, Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend. 40 minutes, 49 seconds.
Every single bit of it.
What do you think Dave gave it?
Well, that's what was the girls' blood and guts thing?
4.5 stars.
2.5.
I don't know if this means your theory works or not. 2.75 stars.
Oh, see, I'm telling you. Now, again, Dave doesn't care that not only the biggest single name in women's wrestling was in the match, but actually, if you want to elaborate that further, the top 3 or 4 biggest names in goddamn women's wrestling, at least, were in this match. It was stupid, yes, with the trash can girl coming off the top of the blah, blah, blah. But that's a move. Dave should have liked that. They're professional. They didn't waller around in, as I said, broken glass and barbed wire and fucking thumbtacks and foolishness trying to be indie wrestling heroes like their counterparts. They turned in effort and a professional performance where nobody was injured, at least as far as I know. It wasn't called for, and it didn't need to be a War Games, and it wasn't particularly that fucking good. But if you're going to rate one thing, and we don't care if the singer turns in a brief and lackluster performance, where she was still professional. We want her to scream and yell and forget half the words and be as loud as possible and go on forever. And that's a more enjoyable show. You got to have some consistency here, Brian. Can I figure out any more similes?
Well, what Dave wrote is this match came across long and lifeless with nothing really sticking but the sky spot. And even then, when the announcer sold it like, we are giving you a viral moment, it completely took you out of any intensity of the match. Perhaps it would have been better with better crowd miking.
Good Lord. Then there were the same issues with the just stupidity and deadness and wandering aroundness of the other match that he rated 4.5 stars because they were all pumping blood and wallowing around in garbage. The work wasn't even as good.
Again, I can't explain his philosophy. Match 2, Dominic Mysterio won the Intercontinental Championship from John Cena. 16 minutes, 47 seconds. What do you think Dave Meltzer rated this?
Okay, well, and he gave Hangnail and
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Hobbs, poor Hobbs. Can't even think of him anymore.
Poorhouse Hobbs.
Poorhouse Hobbs. He gave them 4.5 stars for that was an electrocution finish, wasn't it? That was the electrocution finish.
A pre-bump slightly, you discovered when you rewound it and watched it slow. A pre-bump electrocution. That's right.
Well, this was like on Saturday Night Live when they were doing a sketch and you're just supposed to imagine that the sparkler behind the cardboard box really meant it blew up or whatever. But if that was 4.5, then he gave Cena and Dominic, as I said, the biggest star retiring into business and the hottest young upcoming, up yours fucking talent. And yeah, it was just Hollywood, showbiz, Broadway got too busy, but people loved it. But he's going to take off 2 stars, so 2.5.
3.25 stars.
Well, he's not being as blatant as I thought, but I'm still not that far off, am I, Brian?
You're within the range. I mean, I guess your philosophy or your math is somehow working so far. Dave wrote this was a cookie-cutter House of Torture match, except it came off better because of the star power and Liv Morgan.
Wait a minute, a House of Torture match. What the fuck is he talking about?
Those are my thoughts, though. I thought this is a cookie cutter House of Torture match, but better. That's what I thought. Jim, the next match.
Maybe there was icing on the cookie cutter.
Stephanie Vaquer retained the World Women's title over Nikki Bella, 12 minutes, 21 seconds. What did it get in the Observer?
Well, now we've got the wild card here, bitches. No pun intended. Because we don't have a counterpart on the AEW show, but he always, these awful matches that Mercedes Moon has that go forever, like 25 minutes. He gives them 4 stars for whatever reason. So by using the 2-star math, you'd give this 2 stars, except in this case, boy, howdy, Nikki Bella sucks. So, he gave it 2 stars because he never gives anything less than 2 stars.
I don't think I give you this one. 1.25 stars.
Oh, come on!
You're more than 3/4 of a star off. I'm not giving you that. If you were 1/2 star off.
No, I don't mean, oh, come on you. I mean, oh, come on him. Didn't he give the fucking match where the guy broke his leg and they carried him out on a stretcher? He gave it more than 2 stars?
What was the last time?
Has a heart attack?
What was the last time he gave anything?
If a guy has a fucking heart attack in the middle of the ring and fucking falls over and they're pumping him with the CPR and they drag him out and take him to the hospital, does he still give it 3 stars? Yes. And he gives this 1.25 stars or whatever?
1.25 stars. Let me just see if he says he's just calling the move. There was no heat and this match wasn't good. Aside from fans.
Damn, how many times can you say that?
You could say that a lot, actually. Aside from fans wanting the Devil's Kiss spot. That's what I said. Everyone loves the S spot. Everyone loves the S spot. All right, Jim.
Well, okay. I'm just I've seen people that did everything but projectile fucking vomit in the goddamn ring get 3 stars from him. He must have hated this.
Finally, men's War Games. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul defeated Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Jimmy and Jey Uso 39 minutes, 24 seconds. How many stars?
Pretty much every major name in the wrestling industry, all in one match in a stadium with 40-something thousand people in the main event. Again, with all the professionalism in the world as far as not injuring anyone, but it had its own issues, such as the goddamn Soul Train dance-off in the middle and just Hollywoodness that they made out of the War Games. But if he gave the AEW ones with all of his friends in at 5, he's going to give this one, he'll give it 3, and then he'll add 1/2 to not blow his credibility entirely because he looks like a doofus.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying he'd take 2 off and add 1/2.
So you're saying
3.5.
3.5 stars.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I think it's a miss also. He gave it 4.25 stars.
Oh, honesty shines through. Well, he gave it extra for the name value, I guess. He couldn't deny it. But not as good as the fucking job guys filled War Games that the other guys did with Danny Garcia.
See, that's the interesting thing. It's not even just the star rating for this specifically. It's comparing it to the match that happened a couple weeks ago in AEW. He said it for one of these matches here, the crowd was dead, and then they came up for certain spots. You could say that about the AEW War Games. He even says that this was the hottest thing on the show here. The fans were into it. I mean, how could you not be if you're a WWE fan? It's all the star power. But again, 4.25 versus run-of-the-mill AEW brawl garbage match. And that got 5 stars. So that's why people always say that there's some sort of double standard, and then he says there is no double standard, and then he explains exactly why there's a double standard.
There's a double standard.
But those are the star ratings for Survivor Series War Games.
Well, you know what it is, Brian, is that he's like Tony. He's able to block out all of the negative. Block out all of the negative, that anything's negative, that somebody might tell me something's wrong with what I love. And so he can't hear it. He's not only blind, he's deaf to the negativity from the outside that he could use to learn from.
But he plays a mean pinball.
Hey, you can't stop him because he's a pinball wizard. He has to be the best. He's got such a supple wrist. I wonder what Tony and Dave's wrists are supple from doing, because they're just waggling in the breeze. But folks, the point is, if you don't want to block out everything, if you don't want to just be ignorant to what's going on around you in the world, if you want to accept new ideas and new technologies and new things like that, while still listening to things that you'd like to listen to, we've got the perfect solution, because the Raycon Essential Open Earbuds, boy, they're good, because you can play your music and you can still hear what's going on around you. Let's say, well, in some cases, now, if your wife is screaming at you, you can just really hold your hands over your ears still and just hear the music. But if she's screaming, help, help, I'm being robbed, well, still hold your hands over because you don't want to get involved.
Well, again, I don't even know where to begin to correct you for this little example you just gave, but you're wrong on so many levels here. And
well, no, see, I'm right about the earbuds, because the regular earbuds block out everything. You can't hear somebody yelling or a car honking, or you may just, bam, just get run over one day. You never see it coming. You know why they always say you never see it coming? Because you weren't paying any goddamn attention. If you'd have seen it coming, you could have got out of the way. Well, these Essential Open Earbuds let you pay attention, because the ear hook rotates so they stay in around the ear canal, but are not submersive in the ear canal. They sit just outside it, so you get the clear sound, but you can hear what's happening. You can still wear them at the gym and on walks and stuff. But this, you cannot be mugged with these, because you'll hear the footsteps coming up behind you. But if you're just slow and just don't have good reflexes and they hit you over the back of the head anyway, they won't fall off your ears.
Jim,
because Raycon has 3 million customers, and they all say that every time somebody hits them over the back of the head,
no, they don't know.
Earbuds stay on.
They've asked us not to make up stats, ladies and gentlemen, so we won't do that. But what we can say is that these earbuds are fine. These are comfortable. They look good. They're stylish. We love them here. And in fact, the kids are trying to get my new pair that we just got, because they're so fine and so fly.
They're so fine. Well, you tell your kids to grow their own pair.
Well, again, that may not be the best thing to say to the children, but for the children in your life, or for the inner child within you, you need good sound. Forget about your hearing loss. Raycon.
Well, as long as you've got inner children, it sounds like you ought to see a doctor to have them removed before they get too large.
Jim,
there's an open ear design, a multi-angular hook on that ear hook. So it's a secure, personalized fit for any angle that happens to be a part of your head. Let's say your head's filled with 90-degree right angles. You can just fucking fiddle with this thing. They're ultra lightweight, and they connect to multiple devices and switch seamlessly without hassle. So you can just go from the telephone to the phonograph to the 8-track cassette player and back and forth. 36 hours of battery life. Folks, they're here for the holiday season. The Essential Open Earbuds, they're selling fast. Raycon audio products in general at buyraycon.com, BUYRAYCON.com, are up to 20% off these holidays, this holiday season, or these holidays, depending on how many you celebrate. Up to 20% off with the code JCEOPEN. Because when you write that in, it kind of says me. And then it opened, and then you can get right into the whole fucking website, the back end and everything, and just cause chaos. It opens right before you. buyraycon.com/JCEOPEN. You'll get up to 20% off, but you may be able to hack the whole thing and take over the company.
Why the hell are you saying this?
JCE
You're not going to be able to hack anything. Ladies and gentlemen, that wonderful website.
What if that's their PIN number? What if that's their PIN number? JCE Open. And it just, boom, you get in the whole goddamn deal.
I don't think it is. But once again, for a great deal for the listeners, a great deal if you love good sounds. One more time, Jim, that website, which is indeed just a website you can have your transaction on. What is that link?
buyraycon.com/JCE Open, and the world is yours. Just remember us before you take over. Keep our discount that me and Brian get for us.
buyraycon.com/JCE Open. That's right.